I got let go, sales. I just wasn't performing, and it was what it was. But it was literally around the same time as this time last year, because it was my birthday had just passed, and I had just asked my father to buy me some professional quality clippers and shit because I would buy it myself, but certain things take time and I'm like okay with. But then, my parents, they're still really nice. They're like, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I'm like, "You don't have to give me
What kind
anything."
of clippers did you get?
Huh?
What kind of clippers did you
Some
get?
really nice, like $400 set, silver. They're called Babyless FX.
Uh-huh.
Super good quality, and I was super duper happy. And I wasn't even considering being a barber at the time, bro.
Uh-huh.
But I got the barber grade tools because all
Hmm.
these videos that I'm watching, that's what they were using. So I was like looking in the mirror. I was like, I can't do that unless I have that. So
So your parents saw that you had an interest in barbering and they gave you some
dude,
tools
yeah,
to
I
start
mean,
playing with it.
ever since high school, and I
Uh-huh.
graduated in 2016. Ever since high school, there'd be those nights where literally, and I'd be so embarrassed because I know it'd be annoying. I'd be late at night in the bathroom, and all you hear is a little buzzing, right?
Yeah,
And I was just like,
yeah.
dude, I was just like, and I would literally spend like 2-3 hours on something so simple,
Uh-huh.
and it was like because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, you're
I
all
was
frustrated and sweating and shit.
literally, bro. So then I was like, okay, I need these new things because it's gonna take my self care to the next level. And then within that same week that I got those new clippers, I got fired within the same week. Like I got the clippers on the weekend because it was my birthday or something, and then I went to work, and then they fired me like by the end of the week or that, you know what I mean? And I was just so bummed because I was like, bro, what? Like, oh, that's so annoying. Like, I'm in sales. I just got some new clippers so I could maintain myself. I just paid for a fresh haircut, so I look super fresh, and I was ready to maintain it. And I was driving home in this 91 traffic from Costa Mesa back towards Corona, and I was just sitting there stuck, and I was like, nah, like I can't keep trying to find a new job to fulfill where I'm trying to go. Because I was trying to work my way towards moving out and all the types of things where I thought sales was going to be my way
Yeah,
into
that's
it.
gonna be the way out.
Yeah, I thought. And then they fired me. And that was already like my third sales job. And I was getting so over it. I was like, dude, all right, I don't want to do sales anymore. I want to do something because all my food jobs and labor jobs where I used my hands, my athleticism from high school, it helped to like,
Yeah,
and the determination, the motivation, all
the
everything,
discipline.
yeah, all that shit. Like I believed in my discipline of the training of what my hands could do,
Hmm.
way more than what my words and my face can do for like a sale. I
Hmm.
just believed in that so much more that I was just getting frustrated because I was like, dude, like no matter how much charisma and everything, like sometimes people still don't want to buy into the sales, and that was just what it was, and I respect it. But I was just sitting there and I was thinking, I was like, what can I do? I was like, I want a remote job, but I don't have like a fancy computer, don't have a good like laptop or anything. I was like, ugh, and I was like, barbering. I was like,
They just gave me a brand new set with some brand new
so I'm
clippers.
saying, I was like, I just got some new clippers. I was like, okay, I'm gonna look into it. And so then I was sitting in traffic. I was like Googling best barber schools in California, whatever. And then I, made a few phone calls. And then by the time I got home, I was still on the phone and I was like chatting it up. And they're like, yeah, we could set you up with a, what was it? They called it like a tour. They're like,
Yeah,
we set you up with a tour and you can see
of the
how you
barber school.
like it of the campus and
Okay.
stuff. Right. So I was
Dang, so
like,
it's like a whole campus.
yeah.
I thought it was just like a building with.
It's a building. It's a
But
building,
they have
but
a
they
whole
have
campus.
multiple. They have multiple buildings.
Oh
So,
wow.
so the person I was in touch with, it was like, um, Bellis Academy, Chula Vista, but then they had one in El Cajon, and right now I'm at Poway, and so there's different ones, and it was like, oh well, you wanted to be at Poway, right? Because it's closer to you. I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay, well, we could just show you around here. And I was like, all right, bet. So I ended up going. I showed up, showed out, and whatever. They're like, what's your interest and whatever? And I just explained it to them. They're like, okay. And then they set it up, made it super duper easy. And then I've been going to school ever since. And it's been a long time coming. But back to the story of like the moment of like the last time I really had a good cry, and it was this moment where I felt like it was honestly a roller coaster, bro. It was the first time in my life I cried tears of joy.
Uh huh.
I felt the most sadness that I ever felt. And it was just based off of talking to the right person who was there for me, who was able to bounce off exactly what I was thinking and put it into perspective of why it really like weighed on me in certain ways and why this thing and that thing mattered. And so I think the nutshell of what it was that I was so excited and I was just so grateful to be in this position to be able to do something that I actually enjoy and it's fun and it's rewarding. And it's a skill set where it's like people, I can impress people and make people proud and make people happy. And I was just so excited. I was like, bro, this is awesome. I can't wait. And
Like
I
you
was just
found
like,
what you want to do.
yeah, so that was the initial conversation. That's like the intro. And then as soon as I like made that point, I said, but you know, it's still got a long way to go. We're only about halfway there. And then it
Yeah.
started to hit me. I was like, oh,
That's so
fuck.
funny you say that. That's so funny.
I was like, oh man, because it literally hit me like a wave.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it. I couldn't have expected it because it slammed me. Like my voice faltered. It cracked when I
Yeah.
said it. And then as soon as my voice cracked, I broke down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was one of those like, you're so strong as an individual because we have to be. We
You
do
have
these
to be,
things.
yeah.
And then ultimately, eventually, it all wraps up in your head and it makes sense as to like, it's the confirmation that you've been on the right path and the right track of doing what you needed to do, regardless of what people want to see or judgment or whatever. So then my voice faltered and I cracked and I was like, man, but shit, we have a long way to go and we just got to be patient. And I think I was so excited for what the future had in store that it really made me sad that I had to be patient for it. And I was having this talk with someone. I told him, I was like, dude, like, if someone from the future was to tell me, yo, Justin, in 5 years, you're gonna have done this, and that, and you're gonna be this, and that, and everything like that. It could be amazing, right? That's gonna, of course, make me super duper excited. I'm like, all right, great. But I have to be patient
that
because
reality, because it's a lot of work.
5 years from now starts today and it starts every day leading up to that. And that
Yeah.
takes so much patience.
To show up every single
Yeah,
day
bro.
to make sure those 5 years are actually 5 years.
Yeah. You can't just skip. You can't just jump to the
Yeah,
good
because
part.
you think that you did 5 years, but in reality, the days that you worked, it was only like 2.5.
Right. Over the course of 5 years, even.
Over the course of 5 years.
So it's just so much to be patient about, so much anticipation, so much excitement that through talking to this person, I was like, dude, like, okay, like I know I'm like letting out tears right now because I was trying to hold it together. I was like, I had so many things to like tell them. I was like, okay, I'm not super, I was like, the whole thing I kept coming back to, I was like, all right, you know what? Like, it's just a bummer right now because it's like, I'm not licensed.